Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here to talk about meals, elderly, food, and nudging. When I was a child, I used to spend my summers with my grandpa and grandma on a farm in northern Finland. And once a week, my grandma took a piece of paper and a pen, and she wrote down a shopping list for the items that we needed next week. Then she picked up the phone, the wired one, landline phone in the late 80s, and she called the closest supermarket and ordered the stuff to be delivered to the farm. Nice and simple and clean and easy, right? But actually, it wasn't that straightforward. My grandpa had diabetes, my grandma had high blood pressure, and then there were a lot of allergies in the family. And I'm actually not quite sure how well the meal planning suited all the conditions that they were in the family. There just wasn't, I'm sure she was doing her best in doing the meal planning, but there just wasn't enough information and enough guidance to enable her to make better choices. She would have needed Miils, which is an assistive online food ordering tool for elderly, which helps elderly in a gentle way to eat healthier. So let's talk a couple of words about elderly. These figures are from the UN. They are the numbers of people over 60 today and in the future. So the demographic change is there. The thing is that our healthcare system has not been built to support this kind of demographic change. And hence, we talk nowadays a lot about aging in place. We want our parents, and the elderly themselves want, and the society wants, people to be able to stay at home healthier and longer. It's good for everybody. There is technology enabling this already, but the problem is that a lot of elderly of today still have only the landline phones. They are not technologically savvy. They don't have iPhones, smartphones. They don't have tablets. They don't have computers. So what we do in Miils is that we are an assistive tool. So basically, you can do your grocery shopping by yourself. We actually do have happy grandmas and grandpas doing the shopping on our tool as we speak. We have taken the whole online shopping user experience, put it into pieces, taking only the necessary part, and fine-tune the shopping experience for the elderly to be as simple as possible. In addition to that, if you are not comfortable doing that by yourself, you can be assisted by your caretaker or by your kids. What we are an intelligent thin layer on top of existing online food ordering solutions. So we are not doing everything from the scratch. We are not in the logistics and deliveries. We are there to help the elderly to make good purchases. And we are bringing them closer to technologies of today. In Finland, we have partnered the largest retail chain and one of the largest medical company. So we work with both private and public healthcare companies to provide the service for the elderly. Accessibility to technology isn't the only thing. Like we heard in the last speech, thank you for the introduction, great introduction, there are problems with nutrition. And those are kind of huge problems to enable aging in place. Currently, in Western world, in Finland, we know that a big part of elderly, when they come to be customers of home care, they are already malnutritioned and dehydrated. There are people dying, elderly dying to dehydration in Western world as we speak. The problem is that when you grow older, actually your energy needs, go down. You don't need as much energy as the younger ones. But you need exactly the same nutrients. And if you fill yourself with food that is not nutrient rich, you actually can get malnutrition in a longer time period. So the quality of the food gets more and more important the more age you have. It's also proven in the last presentation that there are a lot of illnesses that can be prevented by good nutrition. So taking diabetes, heart diseases from my own experience, going into dementia and Alzheimer's diseases. There's been research in Finland, for example, lately that show that with good nutrition combined with activities, you can actually postpone the symptoms of dementia and Alzheimer's diseases. Huge thing. The challenge, like we heard yesterday, is not the knowledge, we know that already. It's that changing the way we eat is one of the most difficult things that can be in people's lives. Even if you are diagnosed with bad disease, you might actually not change your habits. So that's where nudging comes in. We are doing nudging in a gentle way. I mean, like if you are searching for a sausage, you don't want us to tell you that you should actually eat the carrot. We might tell that also, that you actually need to eat your veggies, but we can also provide you a better choice by doing nudging. And changing the food habits kindly and gently and in a kind of nice way. Nudging requires data. I love data. I'm a coder and I love data. We have about 40 million data points of elderly, nutrition, their habits, how they eat, how they purchase. And we are using their data for their own good. So we are teaching our algorithms to better respond to their changing needs and to the changing needs of other people similar. And this, in addition to teaching our algorithms, we are also doing, in cooperation with Miils that we heard yesterday, we are doing this smaller exercises of learning how the data influences, tells us what we should be eating, and how the meal planning actually then helps us to change behavior. And this is all done to enable the elderly to stay at home for a longer time. This is our passionate technology team saying hi for all of you. And with this, I would like to thank you. I would love to talk with you guys on a networking break, so please come and say hi and let's talk. Thank you.
This was